back again to our conference. And there is a note that online technical workshop free about predictive maintenance management, value chain, risk management, and analytic technologies overview and practical use. It will be tomorrow, 3rd of September, from 1 till 3 p.m. Again, predictive maintenance management, value chain, risk management, and analytic technologies overview and practical use. It will be handled tomorrow, 3rd of September, from 1 till 3 p.m. So we will back again to our next topic. It's with Mr. Awadh AlEnazi. He's start his career with Marafiq, then joined SABIC in 2010 during Saudi Kayan construction phase. During last few years, he's attended rich exposure and engagement in various efficiency enhancement projects, reliability improvement, and lean manufacturing. He has strong knowledge in SAP, AMWB, maintenance excellence, KPIs, and lunchtime improvement techniques. In addition, Mr. Awadh covered several leadership assignments in both maintenance planning and execution areas during both plants, run and maintain, as well as turnaround periods. He has bachelor degree in electrical engineering from King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals and MBA also. Recently, he started his doctorate in business administration, TBA, studies specialized in maintenance workforce efficiency with the University of Northampton. He is currently in central maintenance senior manager in Kayan, SABIC affiliate, and he will talk about the maintenance efficiency improvement, how to enhance maintenance workforce range time. So let us welcome Mr. Awadh AlEnazi, and the mic is yours, Mr. Awadh.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Khalid. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you well. Go ahead.
Hi. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks, Khalid, for the very good introduction. Just a small correction, I'm currently in Kenya, not in Kenya. Looking to the efficiency and the maintenance efficiency is a very, very valuable subject, especially these days with the market conditions. And I think our keynote speaker in the beginning of this session, he mentioned a lot about the importance of being efficient and being agile and ensuring that we can survive through the crisis, the medical crisis or the market crisis in very optimum speed. So let us go to our subject, which is about the maintenance efficiency improvement. Looking to this subject, we are going through mainly three parts, or three parts of this subject, which is starting by a general background that we can ensure everybody on the same knowledge level, then going to assessing the situation, seeing where we are in the Saudi organization from the maintenance efficiency level, which level we can reach, and where is the commonality between the organizations in such important aspect.
Excuse me, Mr. Awadh, can you just high your voice a little bit?
Now, I hope it's okay now.
Yeah, okay, good.
So the first part is only a general background, general information that trying to share the same minimum knowledge level within all the attendees, then going to the assessing the situation, where we are in the Saudi organization from the efficiency level, where are the commonalities in the strengths and in the improvement opportunities. The third part is a case study, saying that efficiency improvement is a practical way. It's not a box, or it's not a theory only. So a case study also from the Saudi market, from the Saudi organization, how we can achieve the efficiency level and what are the benefits from that efficiency level was achieved. Then we will have a small discussion about questions afterwards. In the general background, it's only a small reflection about what is maintenance. Maybe it's a very basic question. It's some up to a certain level. It's supposed to be a simple question, but devil is in the details. I found this very good say about maintenance, which is opened my eyes one day in the history about the importance of understanding what is the maintenance. So that saying still is mentioning that to some business owners, to majority of the business owners, maintenance is executing the maintenance activities, executing the activities, doing the tasks, in the hope those activities are completed, and considering might that completion will achieve the desirable operation or the desirable performance results. But what maintenance people think about maintenance? Maintenance is executing the required activities with a minimum cost, again, with the hope that completion of that activities with the best possible cost level will satisfy the business needs. Do we have a line between those two understandings? To a very basic and start simple question about the business objectives of maintenance. I leave the answer to everybody to think of. Maintenance, which another very good saying, does not necessarily mean performance. And we mean here in maintenance that the task execution or the activities completion or the task done concept. It doesn't mean performance. It doesn't mean at least optimum performance or desirable performance. Another term we need everybody to...
Mr. Awadh, I apologize for interrupt, but we keep receiving a message that the voice is not, it's not good. I don't know.
Is it about disconnection or the voice not high enough?
No, we hear you, but it's a little low. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the mic or near to the laptop or something.
Yeah, even to make it closer. What about now?
From my side, I hear you, but low voice. But the others, I'm not. I received three messages, 3 notes about the voice. Just high your voice a little bit, and still very low. There is.
I will try to make it higher as possible.
Better, yeah.
Yeah. Another term or important term, especially when we're talking about the efficiency, we need people to have the same understanding is the range time. What is the range time? What we mean when we say the range time? Range time, as a simple definition or as a simple understanding, is the time that the frontliner or the technician has his tools in hand and doing the maintenance job, maintaining the equipment. As simple as that. This is the meaning of range time. Having the tools in front of the equipment, doing the real maintenance job. Of course, it is not obtaining the tools. It's not the time that he is getting instruction or receiving instruction. It's not the time he spent moving from the workshop to the plant or moving from a plant to another plant. Of course, it's not including any breaks, or it's not including even the safety or important activities. It's simply all these activities are very important, are necessary to do the job, are necessary to be efficient even sometimes, but they are not range time. The range time simply is the real maintenance job, the real hands-on tools doing the maintaining activities. This is the range time. Looking to the history perspective from where these studies came, or the range time studies came, it's more than 100-year history on these concepts. When something was called time and motion study, were designed for production assembly workers. This type of studies trying to measure the efficiency, to measure how the people are doing their jobs or how much time they are spending doing their important task or their assigned task to do the job. Why we are talking about it, or why we need to measure it, or why it's important to have some understanding about it from a simple calculation, from a simple math. 25% range time, or 25% efficiency for employee who was receiving a 50 Saudi Riyal rate per hour is equivalent to a 200 Saudi Riyal per hour productive work, while a 50% efficiency for the same employee or for equivalent employee is equivalent to 100 Saudi Riyal, which is, we are talking here about cost, about expenses. So we are talking about doubling the productivity or cutting the expenses of the working rate of that efficiency. So in simple words, what we need from this slide is
in
only
general, expect to pay a dog walker about $15 to
only to understand what is the term of the range time, which is the times the technician is spending doing the job. Why we bother ourselves? Why we need to measure such situations? Why we need to think about this? It's all business. It's all financial. All of these aspects having a financial impact, having a financial aspect from this perspective. Having efficient, having availability of resources, having availability of assets to do the job, increasing the equipment efficiency, increasing the effectiveness of the equipment by reducing all these steps, all these such delaying activities. We can return back the equipment to its original function very soon, and we can have better production. Not only this, let us think about it from different perspective. If we lose this equipment, we are not only losing the production, we are losing money, we are losing the energy, we are losing the water, we are having some work in progress, we are scrubbing, we are having oversweat. Many things we are losing by additional downtime or additional ineffectiveness. We have the direct impact, which is the easiest one to measure. How much we are spending on these extra hours, how much we are spending on those additional support services or support manpower. And we have some indirect related from these additionals, like extending the operator work, extending the inspections task, doing some capital expenditure, or losing some of the product. Many other factors can be measured, and all of them having a dollar sign. All of them can be seen as a money in the financial statement, in the bottom line of the company. So this was only a general building the understanding of the people, so we can go directly to the main important subject. How we are doing, how in the Saudi market, in Saudi Arabia, how we are doing, how is our efficiency in the maintenance, and how is our maintenance efficiency in the organization. What was the main problem? The main problem is as simple as, or the main study problem as simple as that. It's not something unique, it's not something weird. The efficiency level is low across the globe. Many papers, many studies talking about 25%, 30%, 35%, and many reasons for this low or unoptimum efficiency level. However, the gap was we don't have such studies within our market. I tried to find many resources. None was talking about how we are doing ourselves, how is our market is doing this. So this was the, the reason why I started this study. The concept for this study is also straightforward and very simple. As Deming said, a bad process will beat a good person every time. So it's not, the lower efficiency is not about the person or about his skills, or about how much we are doing to help him. We have many gaps in the process, and many things can be done to improve it before reaching to the people differences or the employees differences in abilities. As per Toyota production system, 65% can be improved by getting a better processes and better steps within the work environment. So it's not yet about people abilities. We still have a lot to do within the processes, or the saying about replace heroes with the processes. We can have one or two heroes, but we cannot have everybody to be here. But we can have the process helping everybody to do his job in efficient way, in the best as what he can. For any analysis, we need to have some data collection. So it was data collected from professionals. Were selective in collecting this data. Participation was very good participation. We get more than 200 participation from professionals in our industry in Saudi Arabia. And these some of the details about their experience and their age and how they are doing. From those more than 200, we have 29 already having experience in maintenance, already work in the maintenance in their companies, and this is another example about where the classifications of their groups and their age and such. So in all, the study was considered only those people having the experience in the maintenance, with the thanks and the appreciation to all people who participated. And at the end of the study, or at the end of the survey, there was evaluation asking the people how to evaluate the survey, and there was a very good response about the survey quality. The survey in simple categorization was classified to the main categories in the maintenance, from the work process to the identification, ability to identify the failures, planning and scheduling, which is the main important part, as well as the execution and the performance monitoring. Then data were analyzed and summarized in several categories. We found let us say, almost a satisfaction about the documentation part, about the standardization part, about the accessibility within the organizations, even the defining the ownership, but less about the training and the tracking the development. This was one of the outcomes in that study. Looking to the failure identification, despite prioritizing, was giving a very good marks. The other standardization and identification effectiveness were receiving less results. Planning and scheduling, which is playing a major part in the maintenance effectiveness, the highest that was using the computerized system, which is appear as a common all across the organizations. Segregation between the major to the normal activities, scheduling, standardizing the processes, or receiving a good result, despite freezing the schedule, despite the planning horizon, which most of the people were talking about, the less planning horizon, and the planning effectiveness. So more satisfaction about the scheduling and less about the planning before the scheduling. Execution was giving a very good results, which could be a good thing or could be indicating about a reactive culture, but the respondents to that study was mentioning we are doing well in the execution, and the performance management system was giving also another attention about starting by monitoring the expenses. Most of the respondents were appreciating the monitoring the expenses, which could be a logical thing as a private sector, as looking for profit companies. However, what need to be considered is the lower part of this graph. We are not doing well in the benchmarking between the companies. We are not doing well in the gap analysis. So we have the results, we have the performance management system, we have the KPIs, but we are not doing well after getting these results. We are just simply having the numbers, and numbers will not resolve the issues by themselves. They need to be analyzed and need to be resolved. Comparing between the targets and the best achieved, also we are not doing well. So there was a parity between the results achieved in this study. That's the reason why I think, which could be somehow biased, that we have good results in the planning and the execution, while we have less in the management system and the performance, as clear to everybody. All those participants already part of the maintenance function. In summary, we have received strength of our organizations as availability of a standard work process. It's well documented and being accessible to employees, and being managed through a proper computerized software, a proper prioritizing, as well as effective scheduling and appropriate segregation between planning and major activities. Proper monitoring to the maintenance expenses, as well as a proper recording for the data and for the history. However, the sum of the gaps was highlighted is developing the employees' competency, which could be a common for most of the people participated in that survey. Proper handling of with the performance management, despite we have the performance management, but there is a less comparison to the best achieved and less comparing or benchmarking between the companies. Another factor about conducting the gap analysis and identifying what is the reasons for any gaps happened. And this is the end of the second part. But let us go to the third part, which is somehow more interested or more having the practical work. Is this?
We have 3 minutes, Mr. Awadh. 3 minutes to take the answer. Sorry for interruption.
Okay, efficiency, is it only a theoretical part, or it can be as practical? It is a real study happened in one of the company, one of the manufacturing company within Saudi Arabia, where that company was the range time of the efficiency level was at 20%, and the project goal was about to raise the efficiency above the 50%. It utilized lean tool from Blando study adjust model. The problem, as mentioned, it was lower 20% efficiency level, with many gaps related to that assessment, about the stress and about the unclarity. And this is a distribution to that 20%, and we can see how much the waiting time, how much the traveling time, and how much the wasting time we are wasting our people, not about their skills or about their capabilities. Gap analysis was conducted. You don't need to think a lot about all of these details, but the bottom line that those gaps need to be analyzed well, and all these issues need to be go to its deeper than how it's looking. Then all these gaps were taken care by professional people who have, although many actions to develop them and improve them from time to time, always with a proper change management to have the acceptance up to the completing the project. So what happened after completing the project? After that project, the goal was achieved. On this, a summary of that achievement, how the project was started. As usual, when you start any new thing, people will be so much interested, so the result will be jumped. Then after some times, people will start to returning back to their normal practice. Then you need also the management involvement to have things returning back to its optimum target, and with time this will become the new norm and people will start normalizing happening efficiently. And the second pie chart or the second graph, you can see the differences, how it was before the rush time 20%, then it become 50%, how is the waiting time reduced from 25 to 12, how much the traveling time reduced from 18 to 4, just by proper readiness and having things in place. And as a financial perspective, it has a money value, it has a saving almost 3.5 million real, which was 15% from allocated budget for the overtime and for the support services during this time. So it's a real value about improving the efficiency. Then become the Six Sigma analytical things and how we can verify there is a real difference. It's only a matter of about verifications and how it can be, it was before, then during the implementation, then it become later as a proofing value, statistical proofing a change before and after the project. Also another change, is this efficiency or is this reduction impacting the people ability to have more results? Actually, it's the opposite. 1 year before that project, we have this extended lifetime for the notification. 1 year after implementation, we have reduced all the notification completion time, and it is statistically proven and well documented. And so I tried to make it very quick to catch up the time and to have some time if we have questions or more discussion about it.